I have a few questions about it, but I'll get to that later. Now, I want to jump in right into the film. The film is titled Max, which we all know is the shortened word for maximum. And you also revealed in a press meet that your character, the characters in the movie call you Max. So tell us more about Max. And it says maximum mass. So what is it that people can expect?
That is not what the title says. That's one of our very hardcore fan lyricist who writes it and says maximum mass. It's his perspective. He's called Max in the film because the character's name is Arjun Mahakshay.
Correct.
All right, in his profession. The other angle where the mafia, everybody work, because of what his or his history, they call him Max. Max is here. That's what it is. Otherwise, it's not. Maximum mass is definitely a perspective. Like, for example, in Ranna, there is a line which says, Jungle mein single share. That has got nothing to do with Ranna, no? The character is somebody else. It's a adrenal rush towards a lyrical angle. So, I hope you're understanding. It's an elevation of a personality for fans and other things. So, but film has got that maximum mass, but it's a lyrical angle.
Okay. Now, the plot says that you play a cop in the film. So, what is this fascination with playing the man in khaki uniform?
This time I've not worn it, yeah. I didn't even have a khaki uniform. He's a cop who's
Okay.
suspended, is coming to the duty after a very long time.
Correct.
And it's got nothing to do with, sir. Actually, being khaki thing, the cop part is a very small part of the film.
Okay.
The plot itself is actually a story by itself, no? So it's whether he's a cop or somebody else will be the same. But because it's a cop, there's a reason why he's a cop in the film.
Okay.
And it is not the typical Kempegoda Madhukari kind of a film. The whole film is not wearing the uniform.
Okay.
So it's a one night story, as we say, and it's completely a content driven for that one night. So fantasizing cop, because I just rejected about 2 films,
Okay.
or rather not rejected, is actually it's wrong to say rejected. I waved it off because I've already done enough of cops off late. Vikrant Rona is that, this is that. And again, Vikrant Rona also there's no, because
Khaki,
again,
yeah.
again, he is not somebody who's reporting to duty. They just assume that he's come.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all it is. So I think it's a personality more than a profession, like a cop. It's his personality in this film that works for you.
I really don't want to get into too much of the plot line, but you mentioned that it's a story about what happens in one particular night. So, how was it shooting? Is the entire film in a shot and night sequence? Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience as well as the storyline, a little bit for the audience, like a teaser?
Experience mattered here.
Okay.
More than talking about the experience of that, my experience mattered here. And I think this is when we sat in the scheduling of the film and I put it across saying that you don't need to show the entire film, all schedules in the night. What is happening inside the station to inside certain areas, we can darken it out completely, do the lighting and do day shootings, because I think you're more energetic, you're more into the roles, and you're all there attentive. Night shootings irrelevant to you getting sleep in the daytime. I don't think our body adjusts to that part. Unless you completely migrate to a country which works in the opposite timelines, and then after a couple of months you get used, and after a couple of years your body set to that. See, so we scheduled it in such a way, we planned it across my experiences, I put in, and I said this part of the entire film we can shoot in daytime, then go night. But when we stepped into the night, I think it was very taxing after some time, because of the fights, because of the chases, because of everything going on. See, dust, you can see the get-ups over there, how much of dust everything is there. It matters a lot. But I think you walk out, you see the monitor, you see the edits, that makes you forget everything, and that makes you come in like, wow, this is looking nice. I think this is more. We need more smoke. We need more this. Yeah, by the morning we would all be little, after like sunrise, little time later, you go to the room, you're just totally haggard out. It's just worn out completely. So it takes a toll. Definitely takes a toll.
Okay. I want to connect that question with my next one. Uh, you've made it a habit to work with debutants, directors, or somebody who's fresh, one film old or two films old. Now, for the previous question, you said that your experience helped in making this work. So my question, the actual question was, do you actually like to work with debutants or freshers or relatively old, so that you can actually improvise on their thoughts, on their ideas, and get the output that you expect? Is that something? Would I be right if I say that?
I would like to walk into the dining table where the food is ready, good chef has prepared it, and go enjoy my meal and please go home. This is what I like. I don't want to get into the cooking part and how much of salt is needed, ingredients, how well you could have organized it. I think I'm one of those guys who get hungry, go there, food is ready, just serve it, eat and go back. Why would I want to get into those aspects every time, each and every time have a word? See, I think debutantes doesn't mean they need a little support or anything like that. I think each person comes up with his own package of visions, narrative pattern. We need to go with that. And here, improvisations as a personality, as a character, I think that even any new director or old director will be looking forward to from you, that he's written something, that what can you put in. See, the same role of any film can be played by any actor. That actor gives it another perspective. So it is very important. That's why we say casting. Who is casted for which role can change the dynamics of that particular role. So this role is given to me, so obviously I will improvise, and when I improvise, shots get improvised. When the shots get improvised, the narrative pattern also just probably takes a little change. But as long as we are not diverting from the main plot or the storyline or what we intend to speak. Okay, I think we are all on the same page. And I think these improvisations are a part of every film, whether the director or anybody is a debutant or a senior.
But does it help working with somebody who's debutant? Is it easier to convince them, or is it more challenging to convince them?
Sometimes it is very difficult to work with even the person who's worked 25 films also.
Okay.
It is not a thing. And sometimes it is very easy to work with a debutant also, or vice versa. It is not. It is just about how much he or that person knows and how much they are prepared for a story they are narrating. They don't need to be prepared about a story they are not narrating. If they are well prepared, well aware of things are happening, and I think that will even surprise us, no? Because probably they know their story better than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the story writer, he's the narrator, he has the edit in mind. Probably if we discussed several months together, then probably I'll know a couple of his thinking angles right. So as long as he gets the edit right and shows it, I think doesn't matter. Only when we see that edit is not making sense is when we need to revisit the whole structure and restructure it again, probably.
Moving on, Sudeep. One, I really loved the teaser. Especially there's a particular part where you jump, it's like a dance kind of a thing. And sorry for saying this, but you look very young in that. When there's so much of enthusiasm, so I really loved it personally. That is one. Now, if I had to move on a little bit more, I've seen your films right from the early start of your career. And if there's one thing that I've noticed and I've observed and I would like to put it on camera, is you're not somebody who's like to hold a machete in his hand and mouth powerful dialogues like some of your contemporaries. I don't want to take names, but you know what I'm talking about. If it's required for a scene, you don't mind holding a machete, but that's not your typical style. It's always been family audience. But here, you come up with two machetes, so, and there's a lot of bloodshed, which usually is a little less in your films, in your previous films. So that's the reason my introduction was, will there be maximum bloodshed? Are you going all out mass in this film?
There is definitely mass elements, but it is not as harsh as you think it is.
Or at least what the teaser says.
Yeah, but see, probably when you see the film, teasers were very, you're talking about the beginning where the bus thing episodes you're talking?
No, the one that was released 2 months ago where...
I don't think, one is with the flow as we go. There are certain improvisation. There are certain things we kind of edit, delete. This is enough. So on that flow, you'll not feel it in the theater. In the theater, you'll realize why he's coming with two.
Okay.
Okay, because it comes to a point where he has to rush, otherwise someone will die. Okay, so it becomes a plot like that, and it's a very timeline oriented. So he is in a hurry all the time. So it's got nothing to do with that.